From a holistic perspective, adaptogenic plants may offer significant therapeutic advantages as part of a wider plan, depending on individual physiology. Adaptogens are involved in regulating stress and therefore indirectly may influence physical endurance levels. The body goes through physical stress as a natural response of intense training. It's a part of change and growth. The process of change and growth is similar for both men and women, albeit experienced slightly differently. Following our Ashwagandha series, we briefly explore another known adaptogen, Rhodiola Rosea, commonly known as the golden root. It is a plant native to high-altitude regions of Asia, Europe, and the Northern Hemisphere, growing in places such as Arctic areas and the Himalayas. The medicinal and therapeutic properties of golden root have place in holistic context, although comparatively, ashwagandha seems to be historically older. Despite several similarities in adaptogens, a plant is subject to its particular bioactive chemical constituents, and therefore there may be slight to substantial differences from one adaptogen to another. As a result, which adaptogen is more suitable for a particular individual depends on complete physiology and requirements. Today, there are reputable sources that reaffirm the Rhodiola Rosea's adaptogenic properties. Its key properties are associated with oral therapeutic actions, such as the potential to regulate life stresses, fatigue, and burnout, which may be a result of physical or mental influences. Before we delve into the specifics of Rhodiola Rosea, let's take a moment to consider the aspects of stress and energy. Stress is a natural response of the body to various pressures, and its impact on energy levels can vary in terms of duration and intensity. For example, the physical stress from activities like weight training can lead to both immediate and long-term effects on our energy reserves. They are usually transient. Likewise, stress often carries a negative connotation in popular discourse. It's essential to recognize that not all stress is detrimental. There is such a thing as constructive stress that can foster personal growth and improvement. However, it's crucial to apply effective recovery techniques after repeated episodes of physical or mental stress in order to ensure that these experiences are constructive. For instance, when weight training has developed the muscles in the body to a certain level, what was once physically testing no longer is, as the muscles have grown and adapted. This suggests that the body has adapted to that level of physical exertion. This ties in with the use of pivoting in holistics, a tool used to move onto a constructive trajectory. Additionally, energy in terms of the human experience involves several aspects. Apart from converting food to fuel energy, we experience energy through our senses, state of being, and the external environment. From the inside out, we experience the overall energy generated by our entire physiology, which is a part of every movement, action, and even inaction. Energy output can be influenced by short or long-term stressors. In holistics, stresses can be worked with in several ways. Tying into the phenomenon of stress, the sympathetic nervous system plays a key role. It is a part of the autonomic nervous system and the broader nervous system, responsible for the stress response. In particular, during any form of intense training, it is suggested that the sympathetic nervous system increases in activity due to increased physical demands. It raises heart rate, increases blood flow to the muscles, and enhances energy production. Subsequently, in holistic breathing practices such as yoga, the right nostril is associated with the sympathetic nervous system. To encourage relaxation and recovery, alternate nostril breathing techniques are practiced to stimulate the parasympathetic nervous system activity, which is associated with the left nostril. The parasympathetic nervous system is known as the rest and digest system. This may be helpful to consider as part of a wider view, where the aim is on sustainable growth and overall improvement of physiology, via multimode techniques, including focus on diet, food, liquids, and natural therapeutics, where advantageous for healthy adults. So, how does golden root relate to this? The term remediating in holistics is often associated with particular plant herbs or dietary regimes. Remediating means to improve a particular state. To clarify, golden root may influence physical or mental stress, which suggests that it has remediating possibilities, subject to individual suitability and a wider plan. We look at this from a weight training point of view. Stoicheva and Quintella, 2022, suggest that, in weight training performance, the addition of Rhodiola Rosea at a certain dose and duration increased mean bench press velocity, higher lactate and noradrenaline levels, suggesting increased central nervous system activity and/or sympathetic activity on 10 weight-trained males. To explore this in greater depth, it is suggested that increased sympathetic nervous system (SNS) activity may enhance physical output during activities like lifting weights. The SNS is responsible for the body's fight or flight response, which prepares the body for physical exertion. When activated, it increases heart rate, blood flow to muscles, and the release of adrenaline, all of which can improve strength and endurance. This heightened state can lead to improved performance during weightlifting by increasing energy availability and responsiveness. However, it's also important to balance this with recovery, as prolonged high SNS activity without adequate rest can lead to fatigue and decreased performance over time. The latter part of this position is imperative to holistics and a body-sustainable approach integral to the training. Without it, pursuing high-intensity workouts can become counterproductive. When the body is pushed beyond its normal limits, it increasingly requires a deliberate focus on recovery to maintain overall health and performance. The potential of golden root may support the body in a general way to deal with stress, allowing it to function better in stresses. In the same way, don't forget that the heart is predominantly a muscle, and encouraging systematic and individually appropriate recovery after intense training can be a valuable addition to holistic growth. Next, we look at some of the plant's phytochemical composition. Golden root's phytochemical composition is associated with its oral therapeutic effects. The key part used from the plant in modern day is the rhizome, which is the root of the plant. Its compounds include rosavins, which are collectively known as phenylpropanoids, salidroside, flavonoids, phenolic acids such as gallic acid, triter, pens such as beta-sitosterol, and several others. This unique composition contributes to its efficacy in potential stress regulation and neuroprotective actions, including mental resilience and mood regulatory influences. Stoicheva and Quintella, 2022, further suggest that a number of scientific studies, including non-athlete individuals exposed to maximal physical work, as well as professional athletes, have shown that golden root increased physical work capacity and dramatically shortened the recovery time between bouts of high-intensity exercise. In terms of neuroprotective and cardioprotective actions, golden root may have the potential to influence stress by lowering the release of a hormone called corticotrophin-releasing factor, CRF, reducing levels of another hormone called corticosterone, and boosting stress-related genes, particularly in the hippocampus and prefrontal cortex. They also state that its extract may be helpful on reproductive issues for both male and female. As we can see, the properties of a single plant herb can be vast. Therefore, we will keep our core focus on its affiliation with physical training for this particular video. Next, we compare golden root and ashwagandha. First, while both herbs have potential properties that display anti-stress effects, some attributes differ. Golden root is particularly related to endurance during training, reducing fatigue and potential anti-stress advantages, alongside its antioxidative and anti-inflammatory properties. These combined effects may contribute to improved physical performance. Moreover, the main bioactive compounds in these herbs set them apart. Ashwagandha is rich in with anolides, while Rhodiola Rosea is primarily characterized by its rosavins. Despite these differences, both plants also share some commonalities, such as gallic acid, which may contribute to their known advantages. Lastly, Rhodiola Rosea is generally considered safe with minimal side effects for healthy adults. It is also suggested that it has a favorable risk-to-benefit ratio for healthy adults. Overall, the potency of each plant herb can vary depending on the individual's unique body chemistry and specific purpose. As we've often pointed out, in holistics, one size does not fit all, and the point of any natural plant herb addition is to help promote and build integral balance without long-term need. Golden root is subject to method, dose, and duration. Subject to individual suitability and individual health status.